Hey, Frankie. Yeah, long day in the mines. Let me get the usual. Usually Minecraft taverns are just empty decorations, but this one has a machine inside. One that actually serves you drinks. And today, we're gonna build it, figure out how it all works, and make another great addition to our world. If you just saw an intro with me in a tavern brewing a potion, that means everything went to plan. If you didn't, that means we pivoted, but maybe we still came up with a better plan. Plans. So that is the plan for today, a potion brewing tavern. Potion brewing is something that in my 12 years of playing Minecraft, I have just never really touched. I'll brew one, like a potion of weakness to convert villagers, or as you know, in our XP farm, we utilize potions of infestation. But I never think about using other ones like fire resistance or feather falling. Though they have like obvious utility, I've just never had a spot that makes it easy to obtain them. I think if we did have that, we would use them a lot more. So that's the plan for today. But to let you in on a little secret, I've completely planned the build out and I'm pretty happy with how it looks. But I have no idea how I'm going to do the redstone or how to fit it into the build. So that will be something we figure out together. If you didn't catch last episode, we worked on these cliffs. We worked on the nether portal, all these little trees around, and our big walnut tree over here. We worked on these ponds. We worked on a lot of things, a lot of small details to just bring our world to life. And we've got our commenters scattered around. So remember, if you would like to be featured in one of these trees, leave a comment below. Tell me something you like, what you thought of the video, say hello. I always will pick a random one and add a tree in. So I do have a lot of resource gathering to get done. One of the things that we will work on in the near future will be a true wood farm. A tree farm. We have our bamboo farm in the wood shop, but we need a tree farm. We just use so much wood. It would save a ton of time. I think we should probably get a moss farm going too. We have enough, but eventually I think I want to texture a lot of this open area with moss and different things. So that'll be another addition. We haven't checked on Shy Guy in a while. Let's see how he's doing. Shy Guy, still sounding good as ever. Everything's looking good inside the greenhouse. Our bees are happy. Shy Guy is having a great time over there. Just a nice place to hang out, sit, think, ponder. Our axolotls are having fun. And actually, one of the things we were talking about when we were working on our little pond by our house, I had mentioned maybe we'd put an axolotl in here, or maybe we'd do some fish. But while editing, I figured once the next drop comes out, we'll get a baby axolotl, or maybe two, and we'll keep them in here. I think this is the perfect size for a couple babies. Might be a little small for the adults, so that will be the plan there. So let's talk about the tavern a little bit. It is going to be based on, you guessed it, something from one of my D&D worlds. The tavern is called the Dragon's Trove, and it's going to be a pretty decent size, honestly. We'll have 2 full floors, maybe a basement. Stop it here for now because I'm not entirely sure where the front door is going to be. But obviously we try to add utility to all of our builds. And with this one, it's going to be the potion brewing. I'd like to see if we can implement copper golems in some way. But we are finally expanding out into this wonderful area that we flattened. And in a near episode, we'll actually be expanding out this way. When I say this way, I mean all the way over there. We're getting some big major builds out of the way because they're going to increase our efficiency and just add a lot to the world. And once we get those in, we'll start filling in the blank space, residential areas, shopping areas, markets, fairgrounds, all those types of things. But we've got a few more things to check off our list. So with that said, let's get some resources collected and we can start building this thing. So we're going to need some time to figure out the redstone. What are we doing here? You may be wondering. Well, the tavern is called the Dragon's Trove, so that means we need some dragon heads. And actually, we're going to take the egg as well. I don't remember where our end cities were with the ships, but I'm just going to follow my path and see if I can stumble upon them. I know the first one we found, I dropped the dragon head off the edge because my inventory was full. So we are going to see if we can't find a couple more. We already have one. I think I need 3 for this build. But if we get one extra, we'll take it. There were 3 end cities. The one we were just at is just beyond the horizon there. One in the middle, and now another one right next to it. This one is huge. I'm really not worried about how big it is. All I want is that dragon head. Oh. Put him where he belongs. Perfect. We got one extra. We'll go up and grab that Elytra, and then it is time to get on out of here. Well, that was a massive success. We need to find a way out of here now, which is always the fun part. Last step. Oh. Okay. Does that mean where does that go? I actually don't know where that goes. Does that go to world spawn? I don't even, so little YouTube secret, when I started this world, I found a place in a creative version of this world that I thought would be a cool spot to start, and I set the world spawn there. I'm assuming that egg just went to world spawn, which I guess is probably 0, 0, or at least around there, unless nope. All right, we're gonna leave that for now. I will attempt to retrieve it, but I'm not going to worry about it right now. What I am going to worry about, though, is getting this build started. So let's get going on it. And then that way we can figure out that redstone together, learn something new today, get this creeper out of my face. With that said, let's go. The Dragon's Trove. This one was a long one. It really took longer than I expected. The main culprit of that was just the inventory management. There were so many different blocks in this build that there was a lot of back and forth to the chests, back and forth to the storage system. And honestly, this part really didn't take much time at all. It was once we got to the roof line that it really got difficult. The way I wanted to make this look was as if it were kind of patched together with whatever materials could be found in the area. That's why the roof has all of these different kinds of looking shingles. Maybe over time, as the roof deteriorated, they would just grab whatever tree was closest, cut it down, and make it into part of the roof. The interior is meant to have a cozy tavern vibe with the large, long fireplace in the middle and different bar tops and seating all around. The upper level is more casual with some comfier seating, spots to play games, read a book, and some of our upper class suites as well. Overall, super happy with how this came out. I think it's time for a tour. And we are just finishing up our commenter trees. The tavern is done. Well, mostly done. As we snake our way through here. We had one more commenter tree right up front. And let's take a quick tour. Maybe we sleep and then we'll take a quick tour. All right, as I was saying, I do have a lot of cleaning up to do, but overall, this came out really nicely. It's based on a tavern in one of my D&D campaigns that I run, of course. The main area here is just meant to be kind of the tavern level. Hanging out by the fire, the bar here, stairs leading down into a basement. And then we've got a few rooms, each a little unique, similar vibe, kind of just special in their own way, different things throughout, and not too much more to see on this side. Same sort of thing, rooms for rent there. By the stairs, we have our bathrooms. Here's one, you know what goes in there, and here's one more. And yeah, it looked like someone left the seat open there. Behind this door is a larger meeting room if somebody wants to rent that out. Got the painting on the wall, fire going, little armoire there. I'm realizing as I'm giving this tour, I was saving my dragon heads for when we were doing this. So let's grab those and put them in. So the tavern's name is the Dragon's Trove. So of course we need to have a few dragon heads displayed in here. A couple behind the bar, maybe one more above the fireplace there. And let's go upstairs, take a look, see what we've going on here. So upstairs is more of a casual hangout area, different places for seating, again, the fireplace, and books and things to check out. But it's mostly the higher class rooms. So we've got some larger rooms up here. There's 1, 2. We also, oh, you don't go there. That doesn't go there either. There we go. We also have a balcony out back here. The balcony right now looks over the mountain. We are going to have a path breaking off about right there, snaking its way over here for a big build we have coming in a couple episodes. And then, of course, we have a couple more rooms on this side, mirrored from the other side. They don't have those large beds. So we ended up with one extra dragon head. I don't really have a spot that it necessarily needs to go, but you know what? This one's speaking to me right there. The one thing we are still missing is the egg. So why don't we take a quick trip to do that? But before we do, I want to talk about the redstone. So this basement here currently leads to nothing. From back here, it does look like it goes down, but right now I have not dug that out yet. What I would like is for this tavern to actually serve you drinks. And like I said earlier, if the intro was what I think it was, you can see how it worked. My plan, at least in my mind right now, is to have a lectern where you can basically order your drink, and that drink being your potion, right? You flip through the lectern, pick the drink you want, hit a button, and then one way or another, that drink will be delivered to you. Either coming up through the bar here and ending up on top. Maybe a copper golem will deliver it to a chest here. You know, I'm not entirely sure yet, but that is the plan. After we get that dragon egg, we are going to hop into a testing world. I have a build that I found a video for that looks like it might work, but it will obviously take some tweaking to fit our needs. So I'm going to go ahead and go find that dragon egg. I'm just going to go to 0-0. We are at, what are we at? They switched it. Yeah, we're very far away. So we're just going to try to get to 0-0. We are going to head into the nether to do so. That will be our quickest mode of travel. So I'm going to get going and I'll catch you guys when we get where we need to go. Let's see if we can find this thing. A bee? Oh, I forgot. Yes, this is a mangrove swamp. Where are we? We are right about 0-0. There is no biome that would be harder to find this dragon egg in. I don't know if it truly pops out right at 0-0 or if it's near that or like what Y level. So let's see. Let's just find 0, 0 quickly. So this is 0 this way. Oh, what did I just get? I just got XP. Must be, what is that? Hold the dragon egg. Oh, wait. No way. Okay. That was super. Wow. So I guess where was that? Like right here. So it was right at 0, 0. Yeah. Okay. Well, that was a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. I'm a happy camper about that one. Perfect. We are going to just head back. We'll place that dragon egg somewhere in the tavern, and then we're going to hop into a testing world to check out this redstone. It probably makes the most sense for the dragon egg to go behind the bar, right? No one touch it. It's just there. A nice display piece. We're going to hop into a testing world and try to figure out this redstone. Just a quick welcome to one of my testing worlds here. So this build is by Rexstone, and I'll link the video in the description. REXX Stone, and it pretty much is exactly what we need. The difference is it doesn't fit the form factor we need, right? So basically, you go through this this book here, and depending on what you want, you find the page, you click it, and it will brew in this brewing stand here, and then be expelled into this chest. Just some tweaks right off the bat. We're not going to do Dragon's Breath. We don't necessarily need that. The brewing stand will not be visible, and all of this redstone will actually be below ground. So what I need to do is figure out how we can take this and get it underground. Basically, we'll be taking this redstone signal, and instead of going straight out, we'll redirect it, but we still need to be able to capture the same amount of signal from it. The idea is, well, if we go into the test here, still trying to think of a place where this lectern can go, because I don't think what I was originally hoping for is that I could take the signal from under the lectern, but I don't believe that's possible. I think it has to come from the back of it. So, couple of options. One, it can be in the ground, and we can cover up that comparator with like a carpet. I don't love that. Two, we create some sort of facade. Maybe we shrink the bar down a little bit, or we can put it off the side. We could get rid of this room here. That wouldn't be a big deal. It's kind of cut off here anyway. So we could maybe put the menu here, have a little bit of redstone down here, and then just kind of bring it down below ground. And then we will use our stairs here to dig out the basement and actually house it. That, now that I'm talking through it out loud, I like that idea the most. These rooms aren't really anything special, and in reality, they're probably never going to be looked at. They're more of just to add some functionality to the build. So if we get rid of that room, add the lectern there, let's head back out here. I think we'll be able to do that. The brewing stand would brew in the basement. This is to take the potions out. You can see we just have water potions or awkward potions. I'm wondering if I can come up with a timer like we have in the Druid's Grove, and maybe I'll use that. If not, we could always just have a button there too. No big deal. But it would be a little bit more automated. And of course, all of our supplies and everything will also go in the bottom. So this seems to work exactly as I need it. I'm going to go play around in our actual world and see if we can't come up with something that works. Folks, this one almost took me out. It was way more difficult than I thought it was going to be, but I think we have it working. I will be the first to admit, I am not a redstoner. I wish I was better at it. I have a very basic understanding of how it works. So I'm not like a complete noob, but I am definitely by no means a pro. With that said, I went back and forth a bunch of different iterations of this just to get it functioning how I imagined it to function. And while I didn't get it completely perfect, it's pretty darn close. So this is Frankie. He's our bartender. This here is his copper golem friend who helps stock things, perpetually stock things. I don't know what his name is. Frankie 2? But let me show you how this works. So here we have a bunch of different potions, right? Let's say we want a potion of speed, for example. So we'll select speed. We will go ahead and press that button. For the future proofing, we need to prime it with netherwort. So once after we press that button, we can put a netherwort in there for the next time. And I'm sure there's a way I could automate that. Actually, I probably could do it right behind here now that I'm thinking out loud. That's for a different time. But anyway, you can hear that sound. That means that our potion is brewing. Frankie gives us some conversation while we wait. We look around the bar, the tavern, just sit patiently atop our stool. He's a little short for a villager, but he's a happy guy. So that's our second wave there, meaning that our drink should be up soon. And right out the tap. And that should be potions of swiftness, yes. So we also have a brewing stand here in case we want to add maybe make it a splash potion or lingering or whatnot. But those are some tests from earlier. Healing. Now, of course, I don't have all of the potion ingredients. Some of them are really specific, like the turtle shells. I had like one gas tier. So that's some stuff that we will want to collect just so we always have this at our beck and call. Let me do a quick tour of the redstone before we finish up today. Actually, I'm going to go to sleep first. This flat land back here really needs lit up bad. It is a mob spawner. So if we take a look downstairs, come on through Frankie 2, this just goes up and down, right? So he puts a bottle there, it comes back down, refills here, and he just carries it up. I've got a little small netherwort farm back there that we can reload everything. Basically, let's go free cam for a second. Behind this lectern is a big old mess of redstone, but that button activates this line, which comes down here, flicks this. It carries a comparator signal all the way down. So depending on what page we are, 1 through 15, it carries that signal down. This design by Rexstone is pretty much unchanged down here. So this unlocks the hopper, or I'm sorry, it powers the dropper that has the respective ingredient in it. That will then travel from the hoppers right in here, followed by that netherwort that is primed. There's already a netherwort in here. The potion brews. This unlocks it, so it starts to brew. It fills with water bottles. And then once it's done brewing and there's nothing left in this hopper, it locks it back up. So then the water bottles don't keep flowing in. I don't know if this makes any sense, but I'm trying to explain it the best I can. Then after it comes out of that brewing stand, flows down. I could have done anything here, but I have an iron farm, so this was the easiest thing to do. Goes right into this dropper elevator, doot, 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 shoots out right here, and looks like it's getting dispensed from our tap. Woo! This took so much longer than I would like to admit. I was actually last night watching the Super Bowl and designing this at the same time, and it pretty much took the entire game. But with everything I design like that, I get a little bit better, right? So with that said, I think that wraps up our tavern, the Dragon's Trove. I am so pleased with this. It's such a cool little build. Like I said, I wanted it to look kind of like patchwork, pieced together with whatever materials were around. And I just think it came out so cool. And the fact that it acts as an automatic potion brewer, to just like fit the theme with it, you know, putting it in at the menu and being dispensed at the bar, it fits our theme perfectly here. So I will call that a success. With that said, I think that is all we have for this week. I hope you enjoyed this build. I hope you enjoyed the redstone behind it. I certainly enjoy it now that it's done. It was a tough one, but we got where we needed to go. We'll be back next Wednesday with another episode. If you enjoyed this one, maybe consider leaving a like. maybe subscribing if you'd like to see more in the future. And that is a wrap. So, as always, thanks for listening. Thanks for hanging out. Until next time.